So Donald Trump has been courting the union vote recently, and he's made a big deal about fighting for average workers on issues like TPP, for example. But we have some more evidence here that this is a classic Trump con. So Huffington Post reports, the Culinary Workers Union recently organized housekeepers and other service workers at the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. The union won the election in December, but not without a fight from hotel owners Trump Ruffin Commercial LLC. That's a joint venture between the likely GOP nominee and casino magnate Phil Ruffin, himself a major financial backer of Trump's presidential run. According to Labor Department disclosure forms reviewed by the Huffington Post, Trump Ruffin shelled out more than $500,000 last year to a consulting firm that combats union organizing efforts. So the total number actually is $560,631. Ugh. So as Trump goes around and he's saying, yeah, no, I should get the union support. I'm better for the union workers than Hillary. Hillary Clinton supported NAFTA. She supports the WTO and these stupid trade deals. I'm against these trade deals. I'm totally against TPP. We got to keep the jobs here. We got to make America great again. I actually give him credit for doing good rhetoric on those issues. I do. I think his rhetoric is even better than Hillary on, these particular issues. But there's a major asterisk in this conversation, which is, I do not believe him. And I think that if you fell for it, you're just super gullible because Trump has lied about everything every step of the way. What the fuck makes you think, well, this is going to be the one area where he's telling the truth? No. Piece of evidence number one, he personally benefits from the trade deals as he rails against them. Well, Don, if you're really against them, nobody forces you to, be involved in these trade deals. It's not like, it just is what it is by default, and you're part of that system. Like, for example, Ron Paul is against Medicare and Medicaid. Or, I'm sorry, he's against Medicare, Social Security, but probably Medicaid too, but that's a separate conversation. But he ended up taking Medicare, and he ends up taking Social Security. Well, that's not that big of a level of hypocrisy because you're kind of almost in there by default. You know what I mean? It's not like he chose. He wants to change the system, but he's kind of in that system by default. No, you're not in the fucking outsourced jobs system by default. You chose to do that. So as you're like, oh yeah, all these bad business owners shipping the jobs overseas, you got to punish them. Well, you're going to punish yourself, dipshit? Because you got your ties made in China. So you got other stuff made in Mexico. So this idea of like, oh yeah, no, you don't get it. I'm for the workers. Well, then your actions could show that right now, and it doesn't. So that's piece of evidence number one. And by the way, I'll pound the gavel on that. I don't believe him. I don't believe him that he's against trade deals. I don't believe that for a second. This is piece of evidence number two here. As you say, and he literally made this case when it was him and Bernie specifically of the people, oh, who's most pro-union, me or Bernie? He was like, they should come to me over Bernie because I care more about the unions. He has some direct quotes about, I care about union workers. You spent $560,631 to quash a union organization effort. My ass cheeks are on the side of unions. When you think those unions affect your bottom line because you might have to pay people a little bit better and give them some better healthcare benefits or give them a little more vacation time. Oh, unions? No, unions are terrible. Free market ideology. Yeah, let's be typical Republican douchebags. So understand, guys, he's lying to you. He's running this populist campaign, and he's running it because he thinks it's the best way for him to get elected. And by the way, that's probably true. That's a good campaign strategy. That's a good election argument to make, and you have a chance against Hillary if you are populist and if you do left-wing rhetoric. But I never fell for it. I never bought into it, and a lot of people have, and the evidence just keeps coming that, of course, Trump isn't actually on the side of the workers. This is a guy who, at times, lets his true intentions slip, and he said it during one of the debates when there were minimum wage protesters outside of the arena. What did he say? No, we need to keep wages low to be competitive. That's what we got to do. Wages are too high. Yeah, that guy cares a lot about workers. Do you really believe that?